At the outset, let me say that our prayers are with the families of 39 Indians who have gone missing in Mosul. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj has said that it would be a sin to declare that the 39 Indians are dead without concrete evidence. The Iraqi Foreign Minister has said that there is no substantial proof to say either that they are alive or otherwise. Hindustan Times was the first to report that the jail in which they were reportedly being held lay in ruins. Reza, can you take us through the horrible journey of the 39 Indians who have gone to Mosul?
Well, it was actually a group of 40 Indians, all of them construction workers, many of them from Punjab. They had gone to Iraq with that dream of earning a lot of money, and they were taken to a construction site where apparently, according to the accounts that have emerged so far, things were pretty okay. They had a good job, things were going smoothly, they were getting payments, they were working. But then the Islamic State rolled into Mosul, and this was in June 2014. And very soon there were these panicky stories that these 40 Indians had been kidnapped. For weeks there was no information about them. Then finally there were reports that one from that group of 40, Harjit Masih, had survived and he had managed to escape. But since then there has been this elusive search for the 39 others. No one seems to really know where they are. Harjit Masih has said that they were apparently killed in his presence by the ISIS, who had captured all of them. So, there are 39 families in India now eagerly waiting for some information about the fate of these men.
The External Affairs Ministry and actually the Indian government and armed forces have done a tremendously good job in evacuating Indians from conflict zones like Libya, like Iraq, Iran, and Kuwait in the past. But from the accounts of the lone survivor of this disappearance, it emerges that there was not enough help apparently coming from the Indian embassy in Baghdad, though the fact that the survivor was brought back to India needs some sort of applause. But do you think that the government here needs to face the truth, or needs to come around and give us more information? Do you think that there were some gaps in the way the whole affair was handled?
Well, if there are gaps, I'm not really surprised, because you have to remember Iraq is in a country that is in shambles. At the time these men were captured, the Islamic State was on the ascendant. No one really knew where these men were taken. India sent an envoy, Suresh Reddy, back to Iraq to look for these men. There was a very long search. I don't think the government left any stone unturned. But Iraq was in turmoil, and this was not a normal situation. There was very little that the government could have done. In fact, when these men were in Mosul and they repeatedly tried contacting Indian authorities, they were apparently told to sit tight and wait, because the Indian authorities were in no position to go into Mosul and help them. I believe the closest that the Indian authorities was a place called Erbil. So, this is not a very normal situation, but possibly, yes, the government now needs to make more of a concerted effort. I mean, we had this very strange situation where the Indian government said that their last known position was a prison in Badush. And, Hindustan Times was able to access this prison and found that it was in ruins. And since then, there has been really no evidence about where they are. Even the Iraqi Foreign Minister Ibrahim al-Jafri, who was here earlier this week, he said that there is no substantial information on whether they are dead or alive. Clearly, he also said that they would continue the search on the assumption that these men are still alive. But that's a very slim hope for their families, and I think possibly the government needs to do a little bit more to clarify things to the families.
If you have been to the international terminals of airports in India, you would see youngsters taking off to go to places, particularly in the Middle East, to find work, escaping abject poverty in the hope of bringing back some money and maybe turning their houses made of mud into houses made of concrete. and the 39 families which are waiting for some sort of news also belong to this category of people. I think it is time for the government to bring to them some news about their dear ones, and we hope and pray that it is good news. Thanks for watching.